all the way to Bilbao, Spain, through some of the most amazing mountain passes like Paso de Gavia, Petit San Bernard, Alpe d'Huez. Well, welcome to a live update of the Transiberica Ultra Race. I just finished and I'm back in the Netherlands. I'm gonna run you through how it was, and you can drop the questions in the comments. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them, so feel free to join in and leave your questions there so I can reply to them. So the route was amazing. I first want to thank Transiberica organization because the event was really well organized. The checkpoints were epic, and I really enjoyed the fact that you can sleep during the race. I think that makes it more fair and also is more safe for the riders. So was an amazing experience. I think it's the first ultra race I really enjoyed because the route was so nice that I didn't want to rush through countries sleep deprived. I decided, okay, I'm gonna take my time and actually enjoy the route. So we went from Italy all the way to Spain. First we went to Paso de Gavia. The first night is rain a lot. I got like really soaked in the Splugen Pass and I was freezing. And the next day it was rain again, so I was like, oh my god, decided to take a long sleeping break, and thanks to that I managed to have the most amazing sunrise at the Petit San Bernard. If you have the chance to visit it, you can find the BuzzAlong sticker at the top in the sign. It was really amazing. And then I entered into France, welcomed by a boulangerie. I mean, they had the most amazing pastries there. I mean, that croissant tasted really well. I must say the cycling infrastructure in France was great. I follow by choice because it's self-routed. I chose mostly quiet roads and cycle lanes, and that was perfect. They have these long cycle lanes sometimes by the river, so that's a perfect choice. I think my favorite part was the gorge leading to Albi. It was like full of vineyards, and there were also some nice bars by the river. It felt like holidays. I stopped in one because I was running out of food, and I got like 10 ice creams. Another highlight of the race was on the way to Spain. Col d'Obisque is a famous one in the Pyrenees, and it didn't disappoint. I was there at sunset and it was just magical, so beautiful and peaceful. I think going there at sunset where there's no cars, basically it made it magical. And then I didn't have anywhere to sleep, and by chance I found an auberge in the Pyrenees, and they gave me the last room they had, and they made me dinner and even left breakfast prepared for me. That was the most amazing experience. I think that's what I love from ultra races, that magical unexpected things happens to you. You know, it's a challenge, but also you build so many amazing memories and go to places you wouldn't go otherwise. So I'm really grateful about that. And finally I crossed into Spain following the Col de Portualet, a 27-kilometer climb. I mean, I did it in the morning and it was long, but when I was at the top, I was so happy when I saw the Spanish sign. I was like, yeah, welcome to Spain, you know, final country. And also knowing how things works in Spain. And I must say, in Spain, the drivers were super respectful and the roads were really smooth. It was great, but it was hot. So my heat training really worked, because then I felt like I was a bit more adapted to the heat. Sometimes in the Netherlands it's difficult heat and altitude, so I feel like the heat training really helped me for this event. And yeah, feel free to drop the questions if you have about the Transiberica Ultra Race or about ultra cycling in general. I thought it would be cool to do a first live update here in YouTube just to summarize my experience. For example, if you have any questions about the setup, the bike was great. I used the Rose Reveal endurance bike, so, and I carried like a very little. I think the total weight of the bike with bags and equipment was around I think 13 kilos. So I had the Telfin down tube pack as a saddlebag at the rear. You can find my full setup on my YouTube video of 1.5 liters, and I had the Telfin top tube bag of 1.5 liters, and the wedge frame back of 3.5 liters. That was really useful. And then I had the Albion cargo vest to stuff food and everything on the go. I also had a bladder there, so I had a bit of more extra capacity for water, which was really useful at the beginning. Also, because you go so hard at the beginning, like this is easier to reach the bladder on the climbs rather than reaching for bottles. Sometimes can be a bit tricky on the climbs, at least for me, and I could have all my gels and race nutrition at the beginning. I think at the beginning I relied more on sports nutrition, like I had gels and bars for like the first 48 hours, and then I started going more for real food. Like of course I had some Haribo, but I think after 2 days I was a bit sick of Haribo, and the food was so amazing in France that I decided, okay, I'm gonna take my time and stop in a boulangerie. I had a lot of nice like croissants, also macarons, all sorts of things. So the food in France was a real highlight of the race. In terms of equipment, I carry only like the bib shorts I wore, and also a spare pair of bib shorts. That was my luxury item, and it was worth it. I took showers every day. I stayed in a hotel. I didn't carry sleeping gear because I wanted to make my setup as lightweight as possible, and I find sleeping outside I don't recover, so I prefer to stay in hotels, sleep longer, and then push it harder during the day, which was a good strategy. Actually, I slept on average like 6 hours a night, which made the whole difference. In other races I just rushed through countries like a zombie. I was in amazing places and I didn't even enjoy it because because I was like feeling really bad and like a zombie, and I had pain everywhere. And this time, as I slept 6 hours, I took a shower, I took care of myself, I had some protein, etc. Then I was recovered every day. Every day I felt so happy and enjoying everything, and like my body was recovering and actually adapting to this rhythm of cycle, eat, repeat. So I was waking up like at 4 in the morning to have the roads a bit with less traffic. So I timed the roads that were busy early in the morning, so I could just time trial them fast in my aero bars, and then for the hottest hours I try to be more in the mountains, more in the shades, and that worked like a charm, I will say. So definitely, if you want to enjoy an ultra race, it's not all about suffering. People ask me, why do you do these events? It's like, if you just suffer, no, you can choose to enjoy it. And this time I chose to chase memories, not positions. So it was the ultra race I enjoyed the most, because other races like the Transcontinental, the checkpoints are nice, but the rest of the route, you go a lot, you cross countries on the hard shoulders of main roads, so that wasn't really enjoyable. So I didn't want to ride my bike there. But this time in Transiberica, the route itself, not only the checkpoints, was amazing. So I was like, oh, I actually want to enjoy it. I want to ride my bike here. It's so beautiful, all the cycle lanes, all these nice gorge roads, traffic free. There were not many cars, so that was amazing. The fact that it's self-routed, Transiberica allows you to choose your own route. So instead of going for the fastest roads like I did in previous races, I went for quieter roads, and I must say that really made a difference. And I wasn't that slow there. I mean, I lost maybe 1 or 2 hours, but it was totally worth it. I think I see some people joining. I've seen this woman. Yes, probably. Yeah, and I just want to congratulate all the riders. I mean, we had very tough conditions in Transiberica. It was raining most of the time, so I think most of the race I was timing to sleep when the rain was coming, and trying to skip the rain. Like when I saw a big cloud, I was like riding really fast. Luckily, I had energy to ride really fast. You like bikepacking? Yes. So I love bikepacking. I think realizing this race that I'm not there for racing itself for positions, but because I like bikepacking and discovering new places. And I think I signed up for ultra races because otherwise I wouldn't go to these places. Like I would have never said, oh, I'm gonna go and climb the Petit Saint Bernard and Col d'Aubisque. And then I was there in sunrise and sunset and was the most magical moments. Actually, the route was so good that I'm gonna, once I release the Transiberica video, I'm gonna link the Komoot collection in the description so you can see the route and you can do it if you want, because it was really beautiful. There were a lot of epic places, like also Alpe d'Huez. We went there. They were it's self-routed, but you have checkpoints along the way and also a parkour. So there were two options to climb Alpe d'Huez. You can climb it the traditional way with all the zigzags, or you could go through a climb that it was longer but more steady, the Serenade climb. So you approach it from this side and it's a bit more steady, and it was really nice because the road was not as busy as the traditional Alpe d'Huez. But then I descended the traditional Alpe d'Huez and it was really nice. What is your accent from? Well, I'm from Colombia, but I grew up in Spain, in the Canary Islands. También hablo español. And yeah, and then I moved when I was, I think, 20 years old to London to work there. And after that, I moved to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam. So yeah, my accent is from Colombia, but a little bit of a mix. I wish I could spend more time in Colombia. It's really beautiful. There's so much to discover. There's like a race called Transcordilleras that I would like to do one day. Who knows? Yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick summary of the Transiberica Ultra Race. It's an event that I really enjoy, and if you have the chance to do it, I totally recommend it. This time I did it solo and I felt really safe. I mean, even as a woman riding along my bike, I felt super safe in all the countries, in Italy, in France and Spain. I slept mostly in hotels and I enjoyed the experience. So yeah, there will be a video. So would you choose bikepacking over bike touring or no? I think, yeah, I would choose bikepacking over bike touring. I think I'm getting more into off-road, and also I bought a tent and all the camping gear. So a bit of exclusive preview. I'm going to Patagonia on a bikepacking trip, so I'm gonna test all my bikepacking gear, tent, cooking gear and everything, so stay tuned. And of course there's gonna be the full video of my Transiberica solo. This time I rode by myself in the solo category. Last time I did it as a pair, and this time I did it solo, and it was also a great experience, but I would say a bit lonelier, as when you ride solo sometimes you wish, you know, in the magical moments to have somebody to share it with. So I was a little bit sad about it, but also was good that I could choose to enjoy it without the guilt or not working for the team. So there's good and bad things about racing solo versus racing pair. I think there is a bit less pressure when you choose to do it solo. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I just wanted to wrap up the Transiberica. There's I think 1 or 2 reels coming up about my life updates there, so I will post them soon. Sorry about the AI dub. I didn't know about this feature on YouTube, so I already turned it off, so don't worry, it's gonna be my voice going forward. Have a Spanish channels? Unfortunately, no. But I think maybe in the future I start doing a bit more Spanish content, so let's see. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a good afternoon, and stay tuned for the upcoming video of Transiberica, Bright Midnight and more. Ciao, ciao.